S-Contract is available with up to 5 integrated modules to help you manage your scaffold business. This is a summary of the S-Contract Quotations module to help you manage the quotations you send to your clients and to generate statistical reports relating to the salespeople and the types of quotes generated. The system has security, so we can log in with a username and password. We click on the Project Quotes button and it will bring up our main project page. This project page shows the overview information for the current quote that you want to view. We can click on the Quote Details page to show the detail information for the quote relating to the stages and levels and the pricing information detail for that particular quote. We also have a list page which shows a filter of the quotes that you're currently viewing and a search page which allows you to actually filter the quotes that you want to view. If we go back to the projects page, we have the main quote information relating to the project at the top of the screen. That is the project type, the project name, address, the contact details, and some general notes regarding the quote. The quote number at the top left corner of the screen is a self-generating number based on a main project number and the iteration or variation of that quote. The bottom section allows us to have that separate variation or iteration of that quote. So you can have the same quotation on the same project or different quotes for the same project. Therefore, you have like a dash number for each quote. So you can have quote number 1004 -1, 2, 3, and 4, depending on the number of iterations or variations of that same quote. The quote detail at the bottom shows the client relating to the project. It's possible to actually search for an existing client when you're entering a quote, or you can just manually enter in the details in the customer area if it's just a once-off quote where that's not an existing client of yours. We have also information regarding the dates when the quote was entered. We start off with the date the project was opened, the date your client needed the quote, and the date you actually sent the quote to the client. We also have information regarding the estimator that generated your quote, the method in which you generated the numbers, and the sales rep related to the quote. We also have summary information on the total value of the quotation on this first screen. The detail information, as mentioned, is on the second screen, and of course we have the list page and the search page. Just to show you how the search page works, it's quite powerful because it'll let you search by pretty much anything in any field in the system. So if I wanted to search for all quotes that we've sent to client ABC Constructions, I can just type in ABC, perform a search, and we can see that we have 2 quotes here for ABC Constructions, as the system automatically, when you click on the search button, takes you to the list page showing a summary of our filter. And all we need to do is double click on the actual quote and it'll take us to that quote so we can view the information for that quotation. When we click on the quotation details page, we can actually click on edit. Obviously, when we're adding a new quote, it's just a matter of clicking on add and all the details will be blank and we enter the details in. This is an existing quote which we've decided to change. Let's go back to the search, clear our search criteria and search for a project called Grand Prix. Click on search, and here is the project that we're looking for. I can double click on it, We can click on the quote details page to now show an unlimited number of stages and areas for this particular quote. For each stage, we can enter in the stage detail information based on our current quote. The system can handle an unlimited number of stages. This consists of area, stage name, stage with a detailed description. This detailed description can be based on whatever you enter with the help of your own macros to enter the data in. This information can appear on the quote that your customer sees. We actually have the rental period that you can enter in, an additional rental period, transport information. This is transport, delivery and return costs with the charges based on predefined configurable templates. This can be based on the weight, number of items, total area and total length. You can enter in the labour costs and charges based on predefined configurable templates. Double click to view the template. And finally, we have the actual sale items. Based on the information entered, you can print up to 4 different quote formats based on up to 10 configurable customizable templates. So, based on the quote, we click on the print button. Based on these templates predefined, you can actually print your quote. It can contain a covering letter with the details of the quote. So these are the 4 different layouts that you have available. And as mentioned, it can have 10 different, then there are 10 different templates to choose from. So the beauty of this is that you can choose what information your client sees on the quotation. You obviously don't want your client to see the cost information for your quote, but the cost information is actually there and you can choose what numbers your client can actually see. So the numbers you see here on the left hand side are just sort of dummy numbers, background information that can be easily hidden. So if we go to a different quote layout, we have our third layout here. So you have control of this based on each template or the template you use. You can even include your salesman's signature automatically included at the bottom. Terms and conditions and acceptance forms can also be included. The system is very easy to use. All you need to do is click on Add Project to create a new project, add a quote to add a separate quote for the same project. You can click on the Find button to search for a quote, which is like an immediate direct quote number search as opposed to the page search. You can then click on Edit to change a quote. We have 2 print buttons. The first print button gives you the 4 layouts as shown before in terms of the quote, plus there's also a quote summary table which shows you just the grand totals of each stage and a grand total for the quote. So it's a good summary report for that particular project. The last print button are some additional reports specifically related to the currently selected quote. So we've got about 10 reports there as well. There is also an Explore button where if you click on this folder, it actually opens up the folder relating to this quote. So you can actually put in your drawings, quality control documents, safety documents, can all be drag and dropped into this folder. So everything's all in the same place and managed either on your local drive or on a file server.